Master effective, and in order to build a team that is thriving, sustainable, and delivering awesome results to his or our organization. So my name is Anu Gopal, and I'm your host and the founder of Agile African Platform. So a little bit about Shasha. He has 25 years of experience in software development, including senior management role, and also in the Agile space. He's also a fellow guide level colleague, a CTC, and he's so passionate about Agile coaching and training and creating a culture of brutal transparency. Just underline the word brutal, very brutal transparency, experimentation, and learning by helping his clients to do Agile the best way that they can do it. And he also believes in psychological safety, which is the foundation to the house of Scrum. So Shasha is also on his journey towards becoming a certified Scrum trainer. He has many certifications under his belt, and is also one of the top leaders in the California Bay Area. Did I get that right? Yeah, California Bay Area, doing awesome stuff to build the Agile community in California. So Shasha, we are so excited to have you on our platform today. I'm going to pass the baton to you. Just take us home.
Thank you, Anu. It's my great pleasure to join this group of people. Thank you for the introduction. It feels like my back is now itchy. I'm trying to see if there is any wings growing from my back. You are right. We went through this user group together. This group actually was a great way for us to meet and become friends. And this is my great privilege to be a part of it. Let me share my screen. And what you're going to see is my mural. So I stopped using slides. I started using mural for both presentation and collaboration. Let me send a link to my mural again in the chat, because if you joined later, you might not see it. My plan is actually, once you are in, I see only 9 people so far. I'm going to let you see my mural, and I will not be sharing it all the time. But you could see what's going on by looking into the mural yourself. So I have 11, 12. If anybody has troubles accessing mural, please let me know. We have 39 people on the call, and only 12 are in mural so far. 13. Please take your time to get in. You are going. This is what you are going to see when you are in. 14. Does anybody have troubles getting into the mural? Please speak up. Okay, if everybody is there, let me go to my introduction slide. So I already told you almost everything about me, so there is not much for me to add, except that this is my contact information. And I also have my personal mission, to embrace happiness and creativity by bringing psychological safety to the workplace. That's what makes my heart beat. That's why I spend time and a lot of efforts helping other people. And this is my LinkedIn profile. I'm going to put it in a chat so that you could connect me, and if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out to me. Okay, let's start with very simple thing, because we are going to spend together a couple of hours. And when multiple humans work together, we need to have a working agreement in place. So how we, as a group of humans, should be working together for this maybe 1 or 2 hours to make your experience awesome. Please put your ideas to the stickies, 1 per idea per sticky. You make a right click, you add sticky note, and you put your ideas there. I am putting 5 minutes on the clock, and shut up so that you have 5 minutes for you to write it down. Does anybody has any questions about this assignment? Going once, going twice. I am starting the timer and I am shutting up.
If you don't know how to create stickies, just double click into the window and a sticker will open up for you and you can just type in. And if you have any challenge, please ask for help.
Does anybody need help? Okay. It feels like there is no more comments here. Maybe it was enough time. I don't want to take it anymore. So now, when you guys are all in Mural, I'm going to stop sharing Mural, sharing my screen, because I prefer to see your faces. And in this case, I'm stopping sharing, and unfortunately, the majority of you are not on camera. That makes it very difficult to talk to somebody without having without seeing your facial expression, without seeing your body language, because it's about 80% of the information that actually comes from the body language. If you are Scrum Masters, if you are Agile leaders, it's important for you to have an example for your team members. So we are talking today about 4 competencies of a Scrum Master. Do you see the frame with the core competencies? Okay, you are all in. So there are a lot of myths about who a Scrum Master is. A lot of people believe that a Scrum Master is kind of a version of the project management, of the project manager. That is totally wrong, totally wrong. What makes a role of the Scrum Master is so challenging, because you have to play multiple roles, or to have to carry multiple hats at the same time. And these are these hats. So first of all, you have to be a teacher. You start working with a team, and very often this team does not know anything about Scrum. What can we do to help them learn about Scrum? You have to be a facilitator. We'll talk about that. You have to be a mentor. And finally, you have to be a coach. Let's start with facilitation. The word facilitation comes from the Latin word facil, make something easier. So when you wear this facilitation hat, you want to help your team to focus on outcome. You want to be sure that everybody on the team has a chance to participate. Everybody on the team feels like their voice is counted. You want to empower your team members. It helps to build relationships. You implement the strategic when you help with conflict resolution. That is a conflict resolution could be like a separate topic for a long conversation, because conflicts in a team are normal. You won't be able to get from one level to another level without a healthy conflict. So you don't want to avoid conflicts. You want to keep them healthy and been able to resolve them and provide some guidance to your team. You might say, it is all very, very complex. How we could do that? Actually, there are certain facilitation techniques that we all could use, and they are pretty simple.
Sasha, I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing something? Because I'm getting messages.
I am not sharing. You guys have to, I'm expecting everybody to be in Mural. And I summon everybody so that you could see my mural. Are you?
Yes, we can see it. So yeah, there we have it. We should be on the mural board. And if possible, for better connection, and let's turn on our videos if we can, please. Thank you.
I think the way he set up the mirror, you could actually follow him with the mirror.
Yes, that's as I said. I want to see your faces, because when I'm sharing my screen, I cannot see your faces, and I have no idea if you follow me now. For example, I see that Godwin is nodding his head, and I know that he is following me. I see Ronke smiling. Look, as a Scrum Master, as Agile leader, we are people. We want, and we want this facial expression. We want this direct communication. You don't have it, you are dead in the water. I work for the bank, and it is my biggest battle to have people on cameras, because people we don't have luxury to be together. Mural. Okay, somebody asked for the mural link. Just a second. Let me take.
I'll share it. Please go
Thank
ahead.
you.
I'll share it.
Thank you, Chichi. I remember teaching a class, and I was not able to see people's faces. I was literally sick after that, literally. And so I'm so thankful to people who are on camera, so that I know that, actually, I'm able to deliver my message. So, first of all, very simple, Roman voting. Actually, let me take it back. Silent writing. That was exactly what we did at the beginning. I gave you time, I gave you a tool, and I asked you to do some ideation in silence, when we did not discuss anything specific. I did it on purpose. I just asked you to put your ideas on, right? And we have quite a bit of ideas here. Let's take a look. We have 1, 2, 3. Empathy to be vulnerable, space to share and ask questions, participate in group activities, one question at a time. Let me see what else do we have. Let's have fun. Mute yourself and your phones. Everyone present and fully participating in breakout room activities. Don't talk over somebody. Mute if not speaking, if you are not if you are in a noisy place. Everybody is present and fully participate in breakout room activities. Now, I would ask you a question. Do you agree to follow these rules for these 2 hours? And you have 3 choices. Choice number 1, yes. Okay. Yes, I agree. It's not exactly my cup of tea, but I will follow.
Yeah.
And finally, I'm sorry, my right hand is, I just pulled it half an hour ago playing tennis. Cannot raise my right hand. And finally, when I put my thumb down, it's not I disagree. I have something else to propose. I cannot say no. It's not cool. I have to, if I disagree, I have to propose something different. Let's talk about other facilitation techniques. I'm moving to the next layout. Fist to 5. Let's suppose you are facilitating a sprint planning. And we were talking about why, we were talking about what, we were talking about how. At the end of the sprint planning, a team is about to make a commitment to their forecast. And you want to check the temperature. You want to double check if everybody is on board with this forecast. How can you do it? That is your tool. Hey guys, we decided to complete this sprint backlog in the upcoming 2 weeks. On the level of 1 to 5, how confident are you that we are going to accomplish that? And you say 1, 2, 3, and ask people to show their hands. Somebody might ask you, hey, how can you do it in our distributed environment? In this case, let me play a very simple game with you. On a level of 1 to 5, how much? That's a question. On the level of 1 to 5, how much you love drinking coffee? What I'm going to do to ask you, go to the chat and type in your answer, but don't press enter yet. So when I say 3, 2, 1, then you will press enter. Okay? Again, the question is, on the level of 1 to 5, how much you love coffee? 3, 2, 1, press enter. I see 5s, I see 2s, I see 3s, 4s, 0. So what we did, we used a version of fist to 5, but in a distributed environment. And what we also did, we used one of the liberating structures. It has a funny name. It's called Mad Tea Party. So that we could collect all answers, but the idea, but I specifically asked you to hit enter at the same time so that you don't influence each other. Well, try to imagine a situation. We are a team and we asked fist to 5, where 5 is complete. I absolutely confident is I'm not confident at all. How confident are you with that we are going to deliver on our commitment? I'm a junior developer, and I have a senior developer in a room. What I will go, if a senior developer says 4, I would probably also say 4. I will copy. I probably will not have guts to say no, I'm not confident. By asking people to cast their votes at the same time, you remove that. It's called this influence. It's called anchoring, and by asking people to press enter at the same time, you remove anchoring. Does it make sense? So we spoke about silent writing, we spoke about Roman voting, we spoke about fist to five. Let's talk about dot voting. Let me go back to our working agreement. And let me summon you. So now everybody is on the working agreement, right? So now I would give you 3 votes. Everybody has 3 votes. And I would give you some time to click and cast your vote on on 3 items in this team agreement that are the most, from your standpoint, are the most important for you. Questions? Okay, let's do it. So you click on a card to add a vote, or shift click to remove a vote. Let's begin voting. Come forward. What the question? Okay. People, I see less and less people left. Okay. I'll stop voting in 2 minutes. Okay. Give me a thumb up if you finished voting, so that we don't have to. Or do it thumb up in Mural, in Zoom. Yeah, there is a reaction button. Reaction, it has a raise your hand or thumb up. One minute left.
It's me. Don't vote.
30 seconds left.
It's me. Votes in there.
Okay, time is up. I'm ending voting session. Okay, now let me quickly share my screen because you probably won't be able to see what's going on. So, 5 people gave a vote to participate in group activities. 4 votes, empathy to be vulnerable, space to share and ask questions. 1 question at a time. And so as the result of this activity, we are able to actually identify the most important things and narrow down our focus. While it was not maybe a good idea to do this voting, dot voting for a team agreement, because we want probably to keep it all. But for example, when you are conducting a retrospective, if you have, if you decided on, if you collect the data about the challenges that the team is having, you cannot go after all of them. You need focus, and by doing this dot voting, you could narrow down your focus from the list of open items. You could narrow it down to very few. Make sense? So let me go back to the mural. Let me go back to the mural and I'm back to facilitation technique. So we talk about, now we covered silent writing, dot voting, first to 5, and Roman voting. The next would be what, now what, so what. This is a great tool to conduct a retrospective. So you found a problem, and for example, guys, we committed to deliver 50 story points within a sprint. We were able to deliver only 30. That's a problem. So that's our what. So what? Okay, we as the result of that, our team is not very predictable. We didn't, so that our product management cannot make an accurate forecast when the product is going to be released. Now what? Now what? Let's see what we can do to make to do something different in the next sprint. So what? So what? Now what? There is another very similar technique. It's called 5 whys. You did not finish everything that we committed for on time. Why? Oh, we finished because we have a lot of stories in QA, but couldn't finish QA. Why? So this also is a really good technique to drill things down, but just be aware how dangerous it is. It could easily start finger pointing. Try to imagine your teenage daughter came home at 1 in the morning, and you are a parent, a worried parent. If you ask your daughter, why are you coming home at 1 in the morning? I don't think she would give you an answer. Most likely she would just slam the door and go to her bedroom, right? But if you ask, what happened that you came home that late? Then you are opening a conversation. You see, it's not what you say, but how you say it. This is an art of facilitation. And finally, if you take a look at our frame, we are talking about liberating structures. Liberating structures are a collection of different facilitation techniques. There are 32 of them, and this list is growing. It could be a topic of a separate presentation because it's huge. I just gave you a taste of it with Mad Tea Party. They're really simple, really small, but very powerful. You could, if you look up liberating structures, there is a website with a collection of them. There is a group of people that are teaching classes about liberating structures, and there are books about liberating structures. If you are interested, we could have a separate session totally dedicated to liberating structures. Let me pause here. So that would be it about facilitation technique today. Anybody has any questions, comments, or maybe have an aha moment that you would like to share?
Shasha, I'm wondering if we can practice the what's so now what's liberating structure technique.
At the end of this workshop, I'm going to give you a few real life examples, and we could practice, choose what is the best facilitation approach to discuss them.
Thank you.
So it's coming. Thank you.
I know some of them are eager to go into the activities, so can't wait.
Okay, look, you don't have to wait till the end. If you believe it would be better, let me go to my mural. And let me summon you there. Okay. So, breakout room assignment. What facilitation technique or techniques would you apply to facilitate a discussion in the situation below? Scenario number one. The team consistently overcommits and underdelivers. That means deliver only a small percentage of the committed product backlog items. Scenario number two. One of the key developers is leaving on 2-week vacation in a few days. The team will be lacking on important skill set. Scenario number three. You are assigned to a brand new team that does not have a definition of done in place. And scenario number four, the team has a technical challenge in front of them that has multiple potential solutions. But these are 4 examples. I would ask Chichi, our facilitator, to break this group in 4 breakout rooms. You could do it probably randomly. And your scenario would be the number of your breakout room. And when you're in breakout room, you will see the number. So I would ask you guys, I will give you, let's say 7 minutes. 7 minutes in breakout room, please.
Sure.
Your goal is to discuss this scenario, choose what facilitation technique or techniques. You could use multiple techniques, and choose who is going to be speaking on behalf of your team during the debrief. When we come back, please be prepared to share your experience with the entire group. Start with repeating your scenario and share what facilitation techniques you decided to try. Any questions about this assignment? Show me if it's Petra, may you please read it back to everybody? What is the expectation for this assignment?
Okay, so we're to recommend a facilitation technique that best suits each of the scenarios.
Only one scenario per team. Well, if you are overachievers, of course, if you decide that you could do more than one, be my guest, but one scenario per team, and the number of scenarios is the number of your breakout room. Don't forget to choose who is going to talk on behalf of the team, so that when we come back for debrief, you're already ready to you're ready to present. Are we cool?
Yes.
Going once,
Right. Okay.
going twice. Chichi, please send us out.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Rooms are open, and I'll pop in if there's any need for help.
Oh, because I'm the host, I was wondering which breakout room am I going to?
Yeah, I don't think it assigns host. But can you see just in case you need to join any room?
Yes, so because we are broadcasting live, Chichi has gone.
I'm here.
Okay, so because we are broadcasting live, so Shasha, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube live. So we have people following us on those social media. So some people are still here. I don't know if this could be a group or we should just go silent. But for those watching us, we are doing activities in breakout room. So we should be back in 6 minutes.
Yeah. Yes.
Except something can happen here.
And I've noticed that some people did not join, that they are probably called in, but they did not participate.
I'm just calling out the names I'm seeing not joining. Bio, are you okay? Do you want to, you're in room 1? Can you join in? Are there any challenges you're facing there? D. Bio, I see a Bio that's not joined. DG, Anibaba, Bio. Ngozi, are you able to join the room? Itsunu?
Yeah, if you're speaking, you are muted.
A few other people have not joined. Let's see. Clement.
Actually, I'm experimenting with not sharing my mural and asking people to just go to mural, and I just summon people so that I could see their faces. How does it work for you guys?
I think it's most attendees are dependent on the sharing screen, on the presenter sharing screen. But on the other end, it's a bit difficult to follow through when you're sharing your screen and you're not seeing the people you're speaking to. But that's what the mural board is for, collaboration. So
Right.
if we're not there, then something is, there's a gap we're creating. If you don't mind, I'm just going to go check in and make sure where the team is on point with what we're doing. Am I good to go?
Yeah.
I'll go and visit the rooms.
All right,
Okay.
great.
I will hold the fort here.
All right, thank you.
So for those watching us on social media, we are in breakout room. Oh, Chichi, Abeto is asking for, okay. We're in breakout room. Everybody should be back in the next few minutes. All right, I'm back. For those that are just joining, we're in breakout room. Everybody should be back in the next 3 minutes. Okay, should we be closing the room now?
Let's give 1 more minute.
Okay. So naturally it will give 60 seconds, even when we close it.
And 2 more minutes then.
Okay, people are coming back from the breakout room. Oh, Shasha is back. Over to you.
Okay, guys, welcome back. I think we lost a bunch of people. That's usually what happens when you have breakout rooms, because people feel like they're on a spot. They have to actually not just listening, but doing something themselves. There is always a risk, but it's totally fine. So let's debrief. So let me, scenario number 1, the team consistently overcommits and underdelivers. It means deliver only a small percentage of the committed product backlog items. Team number 1, you have the floor. What's your plan of attack?
Hi, everyone. So for this scenario, our plan of attack is what, so what, now what? And this is at the point, this is because in this scenario, in this technique, we're able to identify what went wrong, what could have been done better, and what should be done to improve. It is pretty much action oriented. During our discussion, we thought maybe the 5 whys would have fit in better, but as we brainstormed more, we figured that this was best for this scenario. And I'll tell you why. Because at the point where we're discussing what, we're able to identify what specific issues happened, what impediments, what technical impediments, what happened with the environment. Is it possible that we didn't have clarity on the definition of what ready is, from the PBI? We were able to identify those issues. And then when we go to so what, we're able to say, okay, so this has happened, what should be done to mitigate these things, right? And now what will be the specific action plan for the next phase? Thank you.
Thank you, Petra. Thank you, Team One. Good job. Virtual round of applause. Okay, scenario number 2. One of the key developers is leaving on 2-week vacation in a few days. The team will be lacking on an important skill set. Team number 2, what's your plan?
Hello, this is Ronke. So we agreed that we'll use Roman voting. And the reason was that we figured that if we know that someone is going off, then we need to reduce our capacity or the number of stories we take for the next sprint. So the question now is, do we agree that the PO, we tell the PO we can't take on so much work, which is because the team member would not be there. And then the team member would have planned the stories ahead, that he would have been able to take parts or do so much of his work in the current sprint because he will not be available in the next sprint. So we would have planned that ahead to take more of those things he would need to do in the current sprint rather than the next sprint. But then the commitment is, are we all agree that we cannot take on so much work going forward? And then we're going to vote. And if you have contrary suggestions, then someone could speak up.
Wait a minute. So you started saying Roman voting, and then you said, oh, we have to reduce the number of story, blah, 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 blah. So you need something that you are going to vote on. So
Can I say something?
Oh, okay,
please.
Go ahead, it's okay.
Please.
I was wondering, we had started with what, so what, now what? And then we decided that that was kind of a reflection thing. And since we already knew that this team member was going to be away on vacation, because we are supposed to be building our capacity ahead before we get to that particular sprint. So because of that, since we already know, the question now is that this is the velocity that we normally do. Are we going to remain with that velocity, or are we going to reduce it and let this, the PO know? So that was where we're going to vote on. Do we stay with the same velocity, or do we reduce it for the next sprint? So that was the point that we're supposed to, and we're going to do the Roman thumbs up on that.
Okay.
May I just also add on to that? Thank you, Isoken, for adding on that we were also going to brainstorm. We're going to brainstorm ideas on how we can mitigate the situation when the person is going to be away, brainstorm on ideas of how we can make it work. And we were going to vote on the brainstorm ideas.
That is great. Thank you. And I apologize if I mispronounce your name, Ethan. But you have to brainstorm first. You already jumped into the conclusion that by just decreasing the scope of a sprint will solve your problem, and you're just voting it. You're losing a key skill set. For example, let's suppose you have the only user interface developer, and he is going to be out for 2 weeks. no user interface expertise. There are multiple ways to address this problem. How about if we cross-train somebody? We still have time before the vacation. Somebody will sit next to this developer, gain some basic UI development skills, so that in the future, when this guy is on or girl is on vacation, you still have expertise. One way of doing that. The second way is, okay, let's be sure that whatever stories we are picking up for the upcoming sprints don't have user interface. The third option, and we could go on and on and on. So you have, my point is, you have to brainstorm first. And what is the best facilitation technique for brainstorming? Guys, what do you do?
14.
Silent writing.
Silent writing, exactly. We started with that. Silent writing is the best facilitation technique for brainstorming. Okay, you collected all the ideas. Now you want to narrow them down. What technique would be to narrow down your ideas?
Voting?
Dot voting, exactly. So you first facilitate brainstorming, collecting all the ideas by silent writing. Then you do dot voting, and as an icing on the cake, when you finish your meeting, you say, "Okay, guys, we have a plan. We narrow it down to one thing. So we are going to have for example, we decided that Joe is going to sit with Peter, and so that we have some cross training, so that Peter will be replacing Joe when he is on vacation. And we are going to, and of course, we are going to our capacity is going to be changing, so we are going to take a little bit less stories. On the level of 1 to 5, how confident are you that this plan is going to work? And you are finishing it with your fist to 5. See, silent writing, dot voting, fist to 5, all together.
And you could also use Elmo to conclude. Enough, let's move on.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Guys, there is no such a thing as a right or wrong answer here. Mm-hmm. But what I'm showing to you is just a tip of an iceberg. There are so many facilitation techniques, so many. And scenario number 3, you are assigned to a brand new team that does not have a definition of done in place. Team number 3, what's on your mind? Team number 3, please. It is guys, it's a safe environment. It's okay to make mistakes. We're here to learn.
I'm saying something. Can you keep muting me? I'm team number 3.
Okay, please.
Okay, so because I get muted. Okay, so we look at the senior.
I think because there's a lot of noise in your background, so maybe you want to leave there. Or
okay.
Maybe it's the TV.
So,
you want to lower.
Okay, what about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we assigned a brand new team that does not have a definition of done in place. So what we did was we actually discussed about using the silent writing. Then we also venture into, liberation structure, which involves, how team actually interact, just like in a pattern whereby teams can actually, discuss together how they work. So, and I think that will be one of the best approach, because there should be a form of team. There should be a form of collaborative effort among the team before, we should have our acceptance criteria before, getting, before having our ready votes done in place. So I believe that the liberating structure will be one of the facilitation techniques that can be used, whereby knowing how team actually interacts, work together among groups. Maybe some team members might be working in silos. We don't know, but using that liberating technique will be something to actually go with, to actually see how team works together, as they be a form of chemistry, team health among the team, before we actually get to that level. I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you, Apasaka. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you, Team 3. Virtual applause. Yay. So you're absolutely right. Definition of done, we have to do some brainstorming so that we could collect ideas in collaborative environment. But we collected all these ideas. Are we done? I don't think so, because definition of done is an agreement between the product owner and developers. And in order for an agreement to be put in place, people have to agree on that. And how you could actually make this agreement official? Roman voting. Are we agree to put this definition of done in place? Yes, we are in. Okay, or I think I have something else to say. So you are completely correct. We have to start with silent writing, but on top of that, you might also try a dot voting, try Roman voting to accept this as an agreement. Cool. Thank you. And last but not least, scenario number 4, the team has a technical challenge in the front of the team, them that has multiple potential solutions.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Yukira, and I'll be speaking on behalf of the team. I want to first of all apologize. I'm having technical issues, so I cannot put on my, my video right now. So moving on to what we agreed on, right? We actually thought that most of the techniques could, help us out in this situation, right? But we decided to narrow it down to 3 of the techniques. We thought to start with silent writing, which would help us deliberate and just fish out, all of the potential solutions that the team, has, just bring it out. Then we thought to narrow it down even further, we would then use the dot voting. And in the event where there is a tie with the dot voting as well, we could also go ahead to maybe do the fist to 5. I really like the fist to 5 because I like the transparency, or we like the transparency that it provides, and all of that. So, well, basically that's our take.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I would do exactly the same. Thank you. Round of applause for team 4. Sharia, round of applause.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. So we spent quite a bit of time talking about facilitation, and I think it's like a #1 skill for a Scrum Master. If a Scrum Master is not a good facilitator, that's not a good Scrum Master. Let's go back to our mural and talk about coaching. So I am this time I think I will just share my screen. So coaching. And I collected a few definitions of coaching from different people I respect. Both Anu and me, we know Shri Silas. She is the one who leads the coaching program at Scrum Alliance. And that is her definition of coaching. Coaches work with their clients to define success by their standards and work with them to step close to this success. As a coach, you believe that your client is not broken. And it have to be fixed. We believe that people are smart and instrumental, and we work with them to help them identify where they want to be and walk them, partner with them to get there. And this is my other definition of a coach. It's actually my favorite one. A coach is somebody who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has to see what you don't want to see so that you could be who you have always known could be. So that you could be a better version of yourself. As a coach, you help the system to reveal yourself. It's like you bring a mirror so that your coachee or coaches, if you are working with a team, they could see themselves in the mirror. They see the problems that they are facing from a different standpoint. And that, in this case, you help them to find their own solution, to clearly identify a problem and come up with their own solution. If you have a problem, you come to me. Very often I see that people are come and say, you're a coach, tell me. Okay, I might tell you, but first, I am not a domain expert. You know your area better than me. Second, if I give you a solution, it will be my solution. We want you to if you come up with your own solution, even if it's wrong solution, you still own it. It's your solution. And even you might make mistakes, but that's totally okay. You are going to learn from this, but you own this. That's why I really like this second definition. You help the system to reveal itself. How you are doing that? You help your coachee to set the goal. What is it you are trying to accomplish? Then you look at your coachee, make an eye contact. You are listening. You are empathizing. You are building this coaching relationships so that person could speak up their minds openly without a fear that's I might say, oh, this is a silly idea. I don't want to talk about that. No, there is no such a thing as a silly idea. If it's on your mind, speak up about that. And you give people feedback. You are holding space for them. It's very interesting because sometimes people tell me, oh, it was so nice to have you at our meeting, even if I did not say a word. Holding space sometimes means holding a pause. keeping the silence. So you ask your coachee a question and pause. Eventually, people will start talking because people are uncomfortable with uncomfortable silence. I know it sounds feels a little bit weird. You ask a question, there is no answer. Sometimes, and your first reaction is, what if I rephrase my question? What if I ask a different question? No. Wait. They will start talking. Of course, it will be a lot of intuition. It's a very intuitive process. It takes time to build this skill. And of course, you have to be checking on people. When would you have a coaching conversation? I could give you an example. One of your developers is constantly skipping daily Scrum. That's one of my favorite questions for. Let me stop sharing because we are mostly talking. That's one of my favorite questions for the interview. Yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'll come to this developer and start talking about why daily Scrum is so important." You need some coaching. You want to find out why. Why are you not attending this this meeting? Maybe there is certain legitimate reason. So a good Scrum Master could have to be a coach. And let me show you how to build this coaching conversation. Let's share my screen again. So a coaching conversation could be presented as an arc. First, you have to establish the environment. We call it design alliance. So if I am a coach and I'm going to coach somebody, I need a permission. I cannot start coaching a person without a permission because it's very private. And I want to create an environment when my coachee could trust me, could speak openly with me. So you ask for permission and establish psychological safety. For example, you promise that whatever we are talking about in our session stays between us. Vegas rule. Agenda. Your client, your coachee owns this agenda. At the end of the game, it's not, you don't force yourself on people. You help them to identify what's bugging them. When I come as a coach to a new organization or a new team, my first question is, hey guys, what is bugging you? What is it wakes you up in the middle of the night? What is it you believe is holding you back? Why is this problem important for you? Here is another very my personal trick. Let's suppose you have a magic stick. How in this perfect world you would like this problem to be resolved? Let's daydream. What will happen if you don't solve the problem? So you see, I'm exploring the problem with my coachee. I'm asking powerful, open-ended questions. They're short. They don't expect yes, no answer. I'm trying to stay away from things like, why didn't you talk to your manager? That is not a coaching question. So we explore. At some point, when you when you are doing this exploration, you have to listen. You have to show your curiosity. You have to show that your empathy. You really, really listen. We call it third level listening, when you pay attention on people's facial expression, on the body language. That's why it's so important to be on camera. There is no way you could do a coaching conversation remotely without seeing your coachee. But and you are doing this exploration not for yourself. You are helping your coachee to better understand their own problem. And at some point, when you think it's you did enough exploration, you ask, okay, so here is a problem. Let me summarize it. But what is one thing that you could do next? What can you start with? So that's goal setting. And at some point, you might want this person to a certain commitment. You could ask, hey, what can I do to help you to make it happen? Would you like me to check on you in a week? That would cause a commitment. Again, this is a huge topic. You could spend, we could talk about coaching for a month. Again, we just touched a tip of an iceberg. Let me pause here if there is any questions about coaching. I'm trying to see. I'm looking at the faces, trying to see. Maybe anybody has an aha moment that you want to share. Okay.
Godwin. Let's Godwin.
Okay.
Sorry, I just called your name.
Yeah, it's fine. You read my mind. So Sasha, it's sometimes wondering how before knowing this, you always gain something from one of these classes and which you think you will not gain, and you'd be like, oh, I think I know everything, I can just get it, you know. The question you spoke about when you asked about asking a developer who doesn't come in as an interview question, I'm sure 75% of the people here have answered that question wrong. You know, and the way you put it about the coaching part of it, because everybody always just feel like, I just want to go in there and tell them what the benefit of the daily stand-up is. That one was my number one aha. And then when you also spoke about some of the liberating structures being used, especially when you're trying to get stuff before you vote, before you get to that stage of voting, is also an aha moment, because sometimes as a scrum master, you just want to get out because you know developers don't like meetings, so you just want to do it fast and get out. But if you don't do it well, you're going to go back to that same page where you were when you started. So thank you for those expos. It was really worth knowing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And so we spoke about mentoring. We spoke about facilitation, we spoke about coaching. There are two more hats that I like this comment in the chat. And we spoke, we also, sometimes you have to be, act as a teacher or a mentor. These are really, really, really close. It's very difficult to draw a line, but let me try. Let me share my screen. By the way, guys, I'm wondering what is better for you when I'm sharing the screen, but don't see your faces, or when I just summon you in a mural and but don't share. I would actually like to who likes when I share my screen? Please put your hands on. Yep.
I think for me it's either.
Either, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I see some people prefer me to share. So okay, I'll share. I'll share. So teaching versus mentoring. You are approaching a new team. They don't have enough Scrum knowledge. So you have to teach them. You have to teach them Scrum, because as a Scrum Master, based on the Scrum Guide, your primary responsibility is to establish Scrum as it is described in the Scrum Guide. So you are teaching your team about Scrum. You give them knowledge. And when you are doing this, you are focused on how. And usually, the best way for doing that is through some structured framework, like you have a lecture or a workshop or a class, but something that is prepared, you have some slides, you have some materials. But sometimes, once your team has some basic knowledge, you have to share your experience. You have they could ask you questions. They would be asking you for a piece of advice, and in this case, it's more like ad hoc. It's not structured. It's like a friendly conversation, like you are partnering with your friend, like holding their elbow, and share your expertise. I personally always like to start with why. There is whether you are teaching or mentoring, it's impossible to find a solution for each life situation. That's why I always like to give some high-level guidance, or like to say to help my mentees or students to understand what is it that we are trying to accomplish, why we are doing that. In this case, I believe people are smart enough to figure it out themselves when it comes to how. By the way, do you guys know 3 major principles of real estate? Anybody?
Three major what?
3 principles of real estate.
Oh, real estate? No, I don't.
It's location, location, location. When it comes to Scrum, it is context, context, and context. Scrum is a framework. It's not prescriptive. It gives you overall guidance and trusts you as Scrum Masters to figure out how to practice Scrum better in the context of your team. That's why that is when you need your why. We are doing our sprint planning. What is it we are trying to accomplish? We want the team to stay focused. We want to create a plan for 2 weeks. Why? Because we want people to stay focused. If people are not very productive when they have multiple things playing at the same time, we humans are not built for multitasking. We need focus. That's why we have the sprint planning to narrow down our focus for 2 weeks. What and why? Now we have to figure out how. This is all I have about mentoring and coaching. Again, it's very, very, very difficult to draw the line where teaching ends and mentoring begins. For example, I am teaching a certified Scrum Master class. I have my materials. I have my learning objectives. I'm teaching. All of a sudden, I have a question. Maybe not exactly aligned even with my learning objectives. What I'm doing, when I'm answering this question, I'm already switching into mentoring. I called this presentation 4 hats of a Scrum Master on purpose. You cannot have wear multiple hats at the same time. You have to wear. You have to play with them. What we call is we are doing a dance. Oh, now I'm a facilitator. A second later, oh, I'm a mentor. Maybe next day I'm a teacher. Or at this moment I am a coach. So I know it's always challenging. What can we do to make it easier for us? First of all, at every particular moment, ask yourself,